Alright, this microphone sucks, but there's something I need to talk about. It popped into my head, bothers the hell out of me, so I need to tell someone. I've been told it's a good idea to keep a video journal, and why not? Why not upload it to YouTube? Let me know if you want to hear more like this, or if I should just stop making videos like this, because this isn't what I normally make. So, in 9th grade, actually, you may or may not know this about me, I have autism. They used to call it Asperger's, but then more people found out, hey, that guy's a Nazi, so let's stop calling it that. And now it's like, there's levels to autism. I'm not sure which one I am, but I have autism and I have ADHD. So I would have autistic support help. I had an IEP, and I would take study halls in the autistic support class, at least from 10th grade onward. In 9th grade, the only time I went there was lunch class, or lunch. Lunch is in a class, you're not really learning anything there, are you? So, anyway. So, I get into her class the day after that death threat, after my mom reports it to the principal, and she says, hey, I heard about what happened. The principal told me, and we want you to write an essay about what you did wrong in this situation and what you could have done right to make this guy not mad at you. I don't know this guy. I have never talked to him before in my life. I wasn't in this situation. My only involvement is that this guy said he was going to kill me, and that I was in the car when my mom told my sister my sister told my mom about it. How could I have done anything wrong in this situation? And how could I have done anything right in this situation? I was just there. It's dumbfounding. So, I try to explain this, and she's like, well, there's got to be something you did wrong, and something you could have done to change it. I'm like, but I didn't do anything. I wasn't there. I don't know this guy. And she says, well, obviously not, or he wouldn't want to kill you. Honestly, it's dumbstrucking. So, I asked, do I have to do it in an essay form? She says, no, there's a few different ways you can do it. I find out I can do it in a comic form, so I kind of do, this, really bad looking, I think it was a stick figure comic, because I didn't want to do this, and I just wrote down how I learned about it, and my only involvement in this situation, which is going into the car after school, and then my mom, or my sister telling my mom, and then my mom telling the principal about it. And then the teacher says, oh, this can't be right. It looks good, but this can't be right. There's got to be something you're leaving out of this. So she ends up I don't remember if she brought my therapist in for this, or if it was that I had my therapist following me around occasionally on some days at this point. I don't know. But I had the same therapist from 2007 up until the day I graduated. Actually, no. 11th grade, that's when she stopped being my therapist. But the day I graduated, she invited me to something, so that makes things fuzzy. So, she talks to my therapist and says to try to figure out what I'm hiding from her. And I just tell them I don't know this guy. My only involvement is overhearing this, and that this guy wants to kill me. And my therapist believes me. She actually a good lady. She listens to her client, and she knows how to do her job. She's actually a really nice lady, by the way. Occasionally I run into her at the grocery store. She gives some little life updates about what's going on. She's really nice. I hope she's doing well. She ended up retiring. I believe there were some structural changes going on in the company or something, and she did not like them, so she retired. Right now she lives in a community. It's really nice. It's like I wouldn't say a trailer park, but a bunch of houses that are like trailers, and it looks a really nice looking lake. And honestly, if there's a point where I retire, it's a really nice way to do it. Ducks walking around the road. Oh, okay, I'm getting off track. But my therapist is a good person. She listens to me. And but the autistic support teacher won't. She tells me to do the comic again, but show what I should have done in this situation and to not lie. So I just write the thing again, do the thing again, but this time I do it in a different art style. The first time I did it in a stick figure style. The second time I did at the time I had like a unique little style. I drew people with like pizza heads, spiky hair, wait, no, it wasn't even that. I think I tried doing an anime style. It was really bad. But, let's admit that. Got her upset. But I don't really remember much of what happened from there. But she was trying to tell me that I wasn't being truthful. There was stuff I was leaving out. And that this guy wouldn't want to kill me if I was doing everything right, because there's no reason someone would want to kill you. Let me tell you something about the real world. There are these things, you might have heard of them, called psychopaths. The weaker and more vulnerable a target is, the more they will attack them. So, eventually my sister starts... She describes what this guy looks like and his name to the school, and I'm there because for some reason they think I would know what this guy looks like, because I don't know this guy. But eventually it clicks. I was in a class with him in 7th grade. One class. I never spoke a word to him. But in this class, since I was this scrawny little easy target who would usually stand with his hunch, and try to keep to myself, not talk much unless I needed to, he would throw these things that they called yellow jackets at me. They would take like a piece of paper, crumple it a bunch of times, not actually crumple, but fold it until it was like, it's going to sound weird, but imagine it's like the shape of the map from Dora Explorer. It's the only thing that I can think that it's like the similar shape. Everything else is like a blank. But take a big piece of paper, fold it up until it looks like that kind of general shape, bend it, put it in a rubber band. They called them yellow jackets because those things hurt a lot. He would throw those at me in class. If I said ow or something, the teacher would yell at me or scold me. She was this really strange lady. One of those people that probably shouldn't be a teacher, let alone probably not around the kids. And she had this weird god complex where she thought she was always right about everything. I'm going a little bit off the rails here, but she was strange. I'm willing to bet, yeah, I guess she was probably a good person, but she wasn't a good teacher, if that makes sense. Like, if you're... Actually, let me continue. Let me get off this tangent and continue. So, another thing he would do was throw spitballs at me. Like, everybody knows what a spitball is. I'm not going to explain what that is. So, one particular day that he was doing this, a day I remember Like, the only time we actually had any kind of, like, interaction. I never said anything to him. I just kind of looked at him and kind of try not to cry. And he's laughing his ass off as if it's the funniest thing in the world, as if he just watched Army of Darkness for the first time or something. So, that's a sad way to put it, because it's the greatest movie ever made. So I'm this particular day that he's doing that, because the spitball thing was one day. I don't remember if it continued, but it's like a very vivid memory, because I am trying to turn in an assignment to the teacher, and she's trying to ask me questions and talk to me, and spitballs keep flying into me, into my hair, and I'm digging them out of my hair in front of her. And she sees this going on. She sees them. She looks over at them, rolling them and spitting them at me. And then she looks at me and yells at me. She scolds me and says that I am being off topic. I am being distracted, and I need to stop doing that. What else? And how she's up to here with my bullshit. What? And she's talking to me. She's pointing to me. There is no misunderstanding here. She's pointing to me. She's looking straight at me as she says this, while I am pulling their fucking spitballs out of my hair. And so it kind of clicks. I remember that moment. And I think I remember this guy. I had one class with him in 7th grade. I never spoke to him, but he would throw spitballs and yellow jackets at me, sometimes other things, and he would laugh his ass off about it. But at school they're like, oh, we don't have anybody here by that name who fits that description. Eventually when I get home that day, I find my yearbook, and I show my sister this guy in the yearbook, 7th grade yearbook, because that was the only one I never actually had to pay for. And she's like, that's the guy who said he wants to kill you. So we bring this yearbook to school the next day, and we point at him and say, this is him. This is the guy. And I have never spoken a single word to him. And the principal starts going off like, okay, but your story's changed so often. Your description of him has changed. I don't think you're being truthful. He accuses us of making the whole thing up. And then it says something about how he would never do such a thing or something like that. And nothing got done. And it's like so dumbstrucking. Oh man, that actually reminds me of another anecdote. There was another day, I believe this was 7th grade too. I was walking home from school with my sister and a group of high schoolers. I want to say seniors. Not entirely sure though, because I was really short. These guys were really tall. And I'm walking. It's kind of like a group of people because we just got out. Everybody wants to get out. And we all have to follow the same sidewalk path because of the way this school is built. It's so weird. So I'm walking, and this guy, he starts pushing me. He starts pushing harder. And then eventually I push him back. And he picks me up. And then he slams me on the ground. And that hurts. A bunch of people see him do this. And they start screaming and running when they see this. And we go to the principal. And you get to the description of the guy. He says he'll look into it. A couple weeks later, we're called to the principal's office, and we are told that we need to stop lying because... Let me see if I remember the full speech. So this kid, I can't say his name. Well, I know him. I know his dad. I'm a great friend of his dad. And, I just know that he would never do such a thing. And you need to stop lying and making up stories like this. So there's like a big group of people who all collaborated. I don't think that's the word on my story. Said the same thing. Said what this guy looked like. People said what his name was. And this guy, he's in the office right behind the principal. He's like leaned back. He's got this big grin on his face, like. And my mom ended up picking us up from school that day. She saw this guy walking, and she started screaming at him. And he started like pretending to cry or something. I don't remember what happened from there. But I think we got in more trouble. But it's like, oh yeah. Wait, no. Oh man. I was going to say that the principal was recently on the news a couple years ago for trying to kill someone with a power drill and threatening to do it. But that was the middle school, not the high school. But it's no surprise, because it was actually one big building that they wanted to pretend was two buildings. There's actually like multiple hallways that connected the two, and they would try to punish you if you walked between them. But they were like very odd about it. Like, there were teachers that would stand there and patrol it and say, "Oh, you can't pass there. You need to go outside and walk around." Like, why? But if you had to go like to the nurse's office, you just go through. But if you were trying to do that while those teachers were there, they would try to tell you, "Oh, if you need to go to the nurse's office, you need to go outside and go around." Like, I'm bleeding. Fuck off and eat my fucking ass. Okay. I probably shouldn't say that, but actually, while we're got a lot of things to bitch about for this school. 7th grade, we got copies of like handbook early, but it was pretty well known. Like, I didn't like the idea of running back to a locker in the middle of nowhere that wasn't anywhere near my classes, and grabbing what I needed. So I asked my parents early on, like, "Can I have a book bag I can carry from class to class?" Like, yeah, they said we're allowed to have one if it's mesh or see-through. So we get this mesh bag. You can see through it. It's like 3 weeks into school. I go to the library during study hall, and then the teachers start scolding me, telling me to get out of there, that I can't have the book bag in there, and that I can't have a book bag in this school. And they send me to the principal's office, and the principal spends about 30 minutes trying to flip through the book bag, through the rule book to find what I can and cannot have. And it just says students are not permitted to carry book bags from class to class. But later on they made an announcement that says that, but then they say the only exception is if it is mesh or clear, and this is a mesh book bag. But when I'm in there, they're like, well, the rule book says you can't have one in general, so if it's mesh, still not allowed. That is just so irritating. But it pisses me off so much that someone could just be like, give you a death threat because you're an easy target, and the school just blames you because that's easy. And frankly, if I ever have kids, I am never sending them out to that school. That is horrible. And if I find out that somebody does that to my niece or nephew, I'm talking to my lawyer as soon as possible. And if I can get that shit in writing, they wanted me to write an essay about what I did wrong, about a death threat. If I can use that as actual court evidence, my lawyer would probably be all over that ants on candy. Yes, I have a lawyer. She's a nice person, but what the hell happened to my hair? Dang it, something ripped out my hair. Gosh, dang it, how did that happen? I should probably stop. I go on tangents a lot. I already once had a friend who kept calling me Tangent. But this is getting long. I don't know if anyone's actually going to watch this. The audio quality is probably terrible. But I've been told it's therapeutic to keep a journal, even if it's a video journal. And, well, there's not enough space on this laptop to keep all these videos on the laptop. And why not? Why not put it on YouTube? Why not? What are they gonna do? Say, oh, you're taking it out of context. What really happened was, and then they explain the whole thing, exactly what I just said, but try to sound like the good guy. It is so funny when people try to do that. Because they just make a total ass of themselves. And that principal was the king of making an ass of himself. Worth noting, the autistic support teacher was not there the next year, but I do not believe it was related to what happened. She ended up moving to a different school a month or two after that. Somebody keeps texting me. I need to check on that, but sometimes you just need someone who will listen, who's not being paid to listen to you, if that makes sense.